Hey there, Tad Hargrave from Marketing for Hippies. Today's video is about articulating the fog. And I just had a session with somebody in the membership group in one of our community collaboration calls. And she'd gotten some coaching from myself and the rest of the group. It's one of these kind of collaborative calls. And she said, well, thank you. This is really helping me to articulate or to kind of find my way around the fog. And I said, don't try to find your way around the fog. Articulate the fog. Because she was in that position that so many are, where our deepest wound is a doorway into our truest niche. This is a woman who had struggled with some real deep struggles emotionally, and was helping people who were probably in a similar or connected space in their life. And so I said, you know, I know there's a fog you've been feeling around this, because she's been trying to articulate her niche for a while, so she's been feeling that fog, and is understandably maybe happy at the thought that what we're giving her is going to help her kind of sidestep that fog, get to the other side of it, have some clarity for fucking once in her life around the niche thing. And I said, I understand the inclination, but don't try to go around the fog. Try to articulate what it is. Because your people, your ideal clients, are in that fog right now, present time. And if you try to stand outside of it and articulate something that they can't see, it will have no relevance to them. It will not be recognizable to them. So instead, can you articulate the fog that they are currently in right now? Another woman on the call, she wanted to work with women who were very terrified to use their voice and speak up, because like so many women, sadly, for family reasons, just present cultural reasons and historical reasons, are terrified. You know, I think it was Margaret Atwood who said, men are scared that women will laugh at them. Women are scared that men will kill them. So there's a deep fear for a lot of women, if I speak up, if I use my voice, I will be killed. And she said, it's about you know, women who are concerned about the environmental devastation that's happening in the world. And do you think there'd be women enough of them? Who knows? I mean, these are things to find out, and it seems so. You look at Extinction Rebellion and a lot of the movements, how many women there are in those. But the fog that they're in, if you're going to articulate it, could be for many of them this: torn between the terror of, if I speak up, I'm terrified I could be hurt, but if I don't speak up, the world will continue to unravel. And you see how the tension between those two can create a real swirl of fog of, what do I do? For so many people, they're completely lost. They're completely in the fog and not knowing what's what. So it's not always a tension between two things, though that is one really amazing way to come at Island A, is what are they torn between? So for me, for my people, they're torn between, I either do marketing that works or I do marketing that feels good. Never the twain shall meet. And it's almost like the difference in charge, negative and positive, between those two creates a cyclone in between them. Or just this electro smog you can't see through. So instead of trying to banish it, try to see it. If you, I've given this metaphor before in some other videos, but if you take a glass of water and you stir it, all credit to Stephen Jenkinson, I heard this one from. Well, if you stir it hard enough, you can see the swirl, the little whirlpool in it. But of course, give it 30 seconds, whirlpool's gone, and it seems like the swirl has stopped. The swirl is still going, but you can't see it anymore because it's not so obvious. These things are often only obvious in crisis moments. But then we get back to the kind of maintenance level of our lives, and the pattern is less available to us. It's less visible until you drop some food coloring in it. So that's what our marketing has the chance to be. Dropping some dye, some ink in the water, so that the swirl becomes visible. So much of what we're trying to do with this point of view marketing and with the Island A, Island B, is to make their own experience more available to them, making it more lucid to them. if they're confused, instead of trying to banish their confusion or sidestep their confusion and offer them clarity instead, to make their confusion itself lucid. And that's a real art. Can you, as Nina Simone said, play the role of the artist, which is to reflect the culture back to itself in such a way that it is more available to itself, it can see itself like a mirror. Yeah. It's not probably the only role of an artist, but that's a fine first step. Can you do that in such a way that the culture recognizes itself? You know, somebody says, I just feel so confused in this relationship and I don't know what's going on, you know, it's up and down. But if you can help reflect the dynamic in the relationship back to them. I mean, I remember talking with a friend and she said, oh, you know, he never hit me, but he would throw things. He just would get so angry, you know, he just would lose control. And I said, well, whose things did he throw? And in that moment, she realized it was only ever her things that he threw. And that it was not that he was out of control, but that was his way of exerting control. Yeah. So in reflecting these things back, sometimes it becomes more visible. You know, it's like those, I remember those images. It looked like just chaos on a page, but if you stared at it for a while, an image would pop out. This is what we're trying to offer people. Something that seemed chaotic, but is now clear. So if you find yourself lost in your niche, confused in what you do, pay attention to the confusion. Learn the confusion. Give voice to and articulate the confusion itself. Because there's a good chance, especially if you're in the healing arts. You know, our deepest wound is often a doorway to our truest niche. There is a very good chance that your people are feeling that exact same confusion in their own way. And if you can, instead of trying to get to the other side of the confusion, give voice to the confusion, you might find there's a response that was unimaginable to you, in terms of people writing you and saying, I've been feeling this and silently suspecting this for years, but no one's ever put it, and as soon as you said it, it was so clear. As soon as you said it, it was obvious that was what was going on. Yeah, so hopefully that's helpful. Articulate the fog. Don't try to banish the fog. Fog might go away on its own. But if you're in the fog now, the job is not to try to evaporate it. The job is to learn it and remember it and be able to articulate it to the next person you talk to who's lost in it. Thanks so much for watching this video today. Hopefully it's helpful in some way. Thank you everyone who's shared these videos, who's subscribed to me on YouTube and encouraged your friends to do so. YouTube seems to be the main place I'm putting stuff these days. And check me out on Facebook. marketingforhippies.com is my website. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I do read them all. Could turn into another sweet video. So that's all for today.